Talking about the real. Talk a real topics, no facts. Talk a real shit and you know that. That's a fact, Jim. Chat and chill. Yeah. Talking about the real. Talk a real topics, no that. Talk a real shit, you know that. That's a fact, Jim. Chat and chill. Talk about the real. Talk whatever you want, whenever you want. Whatever you want, whatever you want. Yeah.
Chip, chat, and chill. Tonight, your co-hosts are myself, Zachia, and I have on with me tonight Depton and Desmond. Kirby is out, but she sends her best. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. Chilling.
You see where we hanging out tonight?
We downtown Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see that. I peeped that.
It's a wonderful day. It's officially eggnog season, hot chocolate season, all that good stuff.
It's official macaroni and cheese, yams, collard greens. I got beans,
Let's
greens,
go.
potatoes, yams, dogs, chickens, hogs. You name it. You name it.
So ready, right? So ready to eat. It's couch season, right?
Heavy football season.
Yeah.
But my team is not like really like.
What's your team? The Falcons?
Heck no.
Come on, bro. No. We all from the same place, bro.
Don't
you can't do that.
That should be a no-brainer.
You like the Giants?
I'm faithful, but I'm frustrated.
Oh.
What is happening? They keep giving games away.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Something about the coaching staff.
You need to throw the whole team away.
That's
It's
hopefully
kind of bad out here in the streets.
Yeah.
Right.
So as we get into Munch and Learn, Depton, what do you have?
Honey barbecue legs.
Messing
with.
Honey barbecue is always the best.
Yes, sir.
I agree. Never die. That's what you got.
Ice cream.
Yeah. What flavor? It's so annoying.
Nah, vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla ice cream.
Simple and light tonight. I got you.
Yeah, simple.
What you got, ma'am?
So what I have, the highlight of my snack are these, y'all. Do y'all like salt and sweet together?
That sounds like an oxymoron.
Depends on what it is.
So Dewey Bakery has these salted caramel cookies. They're crack. Give me today. These are crack.
Salted caramel cookies?
Yes. And you see how thin they are?
Sidebar, people. Zachia does not sell crack cocaine. She just eats it. Sidebar.
Right. She's just using those words. She's just using those words to describe something that's very good.
Yes.
Figurative language. Figurative language. That's it, folks.
Yes. Sorry, YouTube. We do not want to get cut off.
Amen. Thank you. Go look. Yeah. Good vibrations.
Yes.
These are so addictive. I tried to eat just 2 or 3. They're a problem.
A problem.
They are.
I can believe
like
it.
Pringles.
Yes.
Right.
I have another one that I want to try too. I might try it before we hang up. But these are. They're. Remember the peach rings from the bodega?
What are they called? Tajín.
Tajín is the brand. You probably see Tajín in the bodega too. But these are.
Oh, peach rings. We just bought that today, but not that brand.
They're spicy.
Spicy peach rings?
Y'all ever had?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Spicy peach rings.
If you ever had like a mango cup with fresh mango cut up and they put like spicy chili pepper on it, it's good. It's good. You gotta try it.
I never even had a mango cup.
That's really popular in like on the West Coast, but
it is. I've seen it before.
Yo.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You're gonna be like, what is life? As far as I'm gonna go. Hot sauce on the chicken.
Hot sauce on the fruit. You know, and I seen somebody one time put hot sauce on Lay's chips, but the plain ones. Just plain salted ones. They put hot sauce on them. And I was like, I'm good. Yeah, it's just like weird. It's weird. There's a weird type of vibe going on, you know?
The Virgin Islands and West Indies, they put Scotch bonnet on like their apples.
Scotch bonnet?
Listen, I've seen it. I'm like, can you breathe? Yeah.
That's different.
And like with like no flinching, no nothing, straight face. They'll just enjoy it like it's nothing. Like they put caramel on that. Well,
that's crazy.
tonight, I'm glad to have you both finally on because I just wanted to talk on a subject I thought was very important, and it probably grew the most important that as it has in a very long time because of COVID and having to be on quarantine for the majority of this year. And I definitely wanted to check in with y'all. If anyone knows the three of us, we've pretty much known each other, or these guys have known me my entire life.
Facts.
Desmond and I have been friends since we were like 2 and 3.
Facts.
And all three of us went to the same elementary school.
Facts.
We're all from Brooklyn. All of our parents ran in the same circle.
Facts.
But I've never had male friends and family. Justin is my god brother. He was my big brother when I was growing up. I've never had friends and family more important to me than these two. And
that means a lot.
That's all. I will always have y'all back, no matter what. So this conversation is twofold. I want to get the message across that we have to make it a habit to check on each other. And we have to make it a habit of making male sanity an important conversation to, keep having. A lot of us check out because we feel lonely or we can't speak, or when I say we, I mean y'all. Y'all feel like y'all can't speak openly about things that bother you. Y'all can't speak openly about maybe childhood trauma or adult trauma, financial trauma, whatever. But I've always kept in mind that Chip Chat and Chill is a safe space for every adult, number one. Number two, I definitely want to make it a safe space and a safe haven for males to come and gain introspect, and from a millennial's perspective, gain some insight into owning and accepting the emotional experience of being a Black man, especially in America, especially with all that has gone on this year, at the height of racial injustice, at the height of all of that's been hitting our community. I want y'all to know that it's okay to not be okay, but you don't have to stay there. And most importantly, whoever's watching this, you're not alone. We all have our bag. We all have our own experience. We're all going through something, but you're not alone. So don't hold on to it and feel like you're going to be anybody's basket case or anybody's problem. But let's actually feel and experience stuff and know that it's just a part of you being a human and going through the human experience. So I just wanted to roll into some important questions or have an important conversation. And hopefully I'll get to learn some things from you guys that I probably never knew before. Y'all ready?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. With whether it was 2020 or just being in your 20s, your 30s, rolling and then approaching your 40s and touching your 40s. As far as male sanity goes, I'm interested in learning what works for you. What keeps you sane as far as having to juggle your daily lifestyle? We're all parents, so the both of you are dads. You have more than one child, so y'all definitely have that in common. But I wanted to know what personal formula or approach works for your lifestyle, and what are your outlets for expression and release? Dustin, you want to start?
Sure. Routine.
Okay.
Is best.
Okay.
Routine, because for me, and I've gotten this from my kid's mom, she follows a strict routine. She sticks to it. It keeps her in line with the things that she's done, and I've learned from her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always follow it,
right,
but I've definitely learned from her that following a routine keeps you pretty straight with getting through each day. Mm-hmm. Like having things in line and prepared before you do whatever you have to do. Yeah, routine is very important. I'm trying to get myself more disciplined with following routines, whatever it may be, and especially with the kids being home every single day and having to sit with them and make sure they're staying in line with school and that they don't treat being at home like they're at home, trying to get them to realize that you're home, but you're still in school. So it can't be falling asleep, can't be eating on the camera, can't be doing a lot of stuff that you would do if you were just sitting at home playing around. with my son, I try to keep him in line with not sitting on the bed, because sitting on the bed, all you're gonna think about is going to sleep or lounging, laying down, laying
Right.
across the bed. He just got a desk and a chair to keep him up for when he has to do work after school or homework and stuff like that. So back to the original point, routine is very important. Very, very, very important, because it's very easy to get off track
It is.
with things that need to be done, especially as an adult. I'm still learning how important routine is.
Yeah. Desmond, what helps you?
The thing that keeps me sane is what I'm working towards. Me working on my goals and me working on in my career keeps me sane. Me working towards the big shebang, as they would say, um, helps me stay sane, because I know that I'm working towards something that is gonna give me financial freedom. That's gonna just open up the floodgates, basically for everything to change around me. So that's my go-to in my mind. Like, all right, when I go to the studio, I know this is what keeps me sane. This
Yeah.
music keeps me sane. This is me working on my goals. It's what keeps me on track, basically. Depton said something about routine, which is true. Like, you got to have some type of routine to kind of keep you going. But I want to add to that. With me is routine, and it's having that time with my kids. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are away from me. One of them lives down south, and the other one is here. Well, 3 of them. One is here in Brooklyn, and the other one is here in Brooklyn. But me and his mom we're in a really bad court battle with him. So right now I'm not seeing him at all, which is which kind of like makes me insane a little bit.
Right.
But in the same token, like I said, it's the music and what I'm working towards that keeps my career going. So, and me spending that time, whether it's on FaceTime with Sydney, whether it's me in the house with Justin, just chilling, laughing, watching Puppy Pals, like little stuff like that. So I would say between my music and working in my company and my kids, actually, that's what keeps me kind of level headed, and it doesn't allow me to go crazy about what's going on around me or what's going on in my life personally or what's going on in the world. Period. Because you turn on the news and you instantly get depressed. Like, it's like, dang, like
Immediately.
immediately, like it's not even 5 minutes that the news
Right.
is on, and you
Right.
like, yo, that happened. Jesus,
Right.
like you start feeling
Be
like
looking forward to an
crazy, like
animal being born at the zoo.
yeah,
Right.
right. And it's like whoa, like what's going on? But I would say, like I said, it's me working on my goals and doing what I need to do that keeps me on the right path mentally.
Yeah.
Because us guys, we go through a lot, and as men, we were taught to, all right, just all right, get up. Like when we fall, get up. All right, brush yourself off. You good? You good? Like we weren't taught, yo, this hurts, so I gotta deal with this hurt. I was taught, yo, when I fall, yo, you guys brush it off. Oh, you need a band-aid? Put a band-aid on it. Oh, go wipe it off. Go put some cold water on
Right.
that. You feel me? And you can't put cold water on everything. You can't brush
Right.
off everything. You can't put a band-aid on everything. And so you have to find other ways to soothe yourself mentally. And for me, it's my music. It's me working towards the goal, because I know me working on my goals, man, is what do it. And of course, drums, of course. Like I could just go sit and play some drums for 2 hours and be good afterwards mentally. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or drive. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or take a drive somewhere. But for the most part, it's me working in my career, working on my goals for my career, should I say,
Yeah.
and playing some drums and chilling with my kids, in a nutshell.
Depth, what
Can
outlets?
I add something?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, what outlets do you have to release your tension?
That driving is
Yeah.
is something serious. Like, I don't
It's
think anybody
therapeutic,
but a
bro.
man is. It's very therapeutic because it
It
gets your
does.
mind away from the stuff that's bothering you. And
And
for
you
also for me, Go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say, and you're able to just freely think. You're able to just freely think. Like you're not restricted on your thoughts, because sometimes you could be restricted on your thoughts, like with a lot of stuff going on. Like you're in your mind, but it's like a million and one things going on in your mind at the same time as that one thought is in your head. When you're driving, you can literally depict everything. Like literally
Everything,
you
because
could
you're
go
by
from
One of
A
yourself.
my
to
favorite
Z.
go-tos. Yeah, that's one of my outlets. Like if I get to
Is it?
go drive, and I don't even have to spend money, but just to go to somewhere that's not my everyday familiar, and just let it be, just be.
Right.
Another thing with driving, when things get to be too much, that's a time for me to release, like
Yeah,
cry,
yeah, yeah,
let that all out, get
yeah,
all of
Yeah.
that out, all of it, because being in the house, your kids coming to you asking you what's wrong. You don't want them to start worrying. You don't want
No.
to put your troubles on them and
No.
all of that stuff. So for me, sometimes when I get in the car, it's just I may just go sit in the garage, bro,
yeah,
and says I may just go sit in the garage for a good 20 minutes just to release,
yeah,
just to get that out,
yeah,
just to get that out. And to get those thoughts out, like you said, all them things you thinking about, them million things that we think about every day,
yeah,
all the hurt, all the pressure, all the whatever it is,
yep,
everything that's going on is definitely a moment to release. And that playing drums, sitting in the garage playing them drums and just getting away from everything, that definitely helps.
You could swing to
Just
Jesus come. Like,
swing.
yeah.
Oh man. Just swing. That's like a boxer going to the gym, just hitting that bag.
That's
yeah.
a fact.
That's what I always think about.
Wow.
Just hitting that bag. When anytime I'm on the drums, even that gig, I did a gig Thursday, and it was a recording, like a virtual recording or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
they just let me go, and I just played. I played whatever I felt like playing. I mean, it was within the music, but I was just able to
You was
get
free.
out. Yeah, I was free, completely free. Like nobody was, you know how certain musicians you get around or certain bands you playing,
Yeah,
if you're doing too much, they're gonna be looking at you crazy.
Right.
And not to say that I was going bananas, but I
Right.
got to release.
yeah,
Like
Right.
I was completely free to play how I felt and what I was thinking at that time. So drums is definitely a safe haven.
It's a
Definitely a safe
definitely a safe
haven.
haven. It's definitely a safe haven. Like I could sit and play
And
drums for man 2 hours and be good. Won't even be mad no more.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like one of
yeah.
those things, man. It's like one of those things. But yeah, I definitely get it. Yeah, dude, definitely get it.
hmm
That's dope.
I've gotten into some other stuff like watering plants,
Word.
going outside to water plants. When we first moved down here to Georgia, I used to cut the lawn, and that's therapeutic.
When I was a teenager, bro.
Listen, bro.
Oh my
Listen,
god.
It'll work for you if you let it.
listen.
I
As
used
an
to be like,
adult,
it is
though,
not my week. Day, get out there and vacuum Central
yeah,
Park. Vacuum.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Go cut Central Park back there because our backyard was big. Our first house, our backyard was
Oh
huge,
man.
bro. It was like, yo, I gotta cut Central Park. Nah, I'm
It
good, bro.
was just me as an adult, bro. And I did that thing the first time, and I was like, it was self-propelled. So all you had to do was what you didn't have to push it. All you had to do was cut it on
It's like
and just guide it.
yeah.
I had manual. You had to hold the strap and pull
Yeah,
that thing
yeah.
back there like that.
Ding, 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 ding,
Dog.
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it did the
Oh
when it
man.
coughed a few times, you know it needed gas.
Right. Right. I bought some plants and they died within like 3 weeks.
Mm.
And I had went on Facebook and saw some stuff on how to bring them back to life. Them things came back to life, and I've been watering them ever since. I go out in the morning, put some good water on that thing, and then I come back in the house and I'm good, like for a few hours. Watering plants, bro. Watering
That's what's up.
plants.
They say you can talk to them too, like the plants. They
I'm
actually listen. You can talk to your
I
plants.
made I may mess around and be thinking so much while I'm doing it and drown the whole plant. I got
Not gonna let you drown
all
the
type of soil just flowing over in the pot, water. I'd be like, dang, I got too much on my mind. I
Oh
can't do
man.
this. This ain't good for me.
actually, Desmond, what you went into when you were talking about how you guys were taught, the learned behavior, not even just
Yeah,
what you were told when you had to deal with something, how you should react or respond to it.
yeah.
There's always something that I've, as especially as an adult, definitely in my 30s, I've been more mindful of seeing how much there is in the power of learned behavior.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, how toxic it is to
It's
people.
very
Mm.
toxic.
Learned behavior, not just for men, for women too, because there were some things I had to unlearn. And I always say, the middle of your 30s, you be unlearning so much stuff. You gonna unlearn so
What?
many.
You know
The
how much
middle of
stuff
your
I unlearned?
30s, you're still
I
unlearning
know, I
stuff.
know it's a journey, but your 20s, you clown, you play around, you feel yourself around, you get to know your likes, your dislikes, who this, who that, and then like your 30s, you actually apply that. I say it's like the groundwork for you to apply it, and then in your 40s, it's like, okay, now you get to actually use some stuff, but then you also have to peel back some more. Every decade, you peel back and you learn some more. But the learned behavior, I think, is so toxic for them to say, especially as I've gotten older and I've watched my other friends raise their boys. Don't be crying, you sound like a girl. Or, you can't do this, or you can't do that. Or you better suck it up. I get
Hmm.
bothered. I think that is so unhealthy because you're going to be 25 one day and really be hurt and devastated by something. You might get your heart broken. You might lose your first job. You might get robbed. You might get whatever the situation may be. And you will want to release that, but because you have been taught so long to hold and withdraw and do all this crazy stuff, that's going to do something to your mental that's not productive.
Right.
And it's going to do more damage than good. You have this grown man trying to heal and soothe this young boy on the inside, and it's not fair. So I
Hmm.
guess my next question for you was going to be, what learned behavior did you adapt to, and what do you want your behavior to teach your children?
That's a good question. What learned behavior did I adapt to?
You
And
say adapt to, do you mean like what you've picked up
exactly, so
and are
what you
now
may have seen
using in your life?
demonstrated, yeah, what you may have seen demonstrated in the household from your father, or what his grandfather may have taught him, or what your grandparents, whoever may have the biggest influence on you growing up as a male figure, their behavior, what did their behavior teach you, and or what did you carry into your adulthood as a man that was a
Okay.
learned
Yeah.
behavior?
You want to go
Okay.
first, Desmond?
It don't matter. I would say I took from, growing up and learning, looking at my dad, because the dynamic was a little different. My dad was the first to actually have his family and to, keep his family intact. If you go back in my family, my grandfather and my grandmother had divorced, and he left my grandmother with my my uncle and my dad there to raise them on her own. And so he would pop in and out, here and there, but it's nothing like having a dad there. When it was my dad's turn to have a family, I noticed that he made sure it was certain family values that were set into place. He made sure there was some like certain family things or certain things that that he made sure that we seen sacrifice
Hmm.
as young boys in his house.
Okay.
Like, yo, this is what you have to do to to make this work, or this is the sacrifice you have to make for your family when you become a an adult and when you have kids. And I seen a lot of sacrifices that my dad made, a lot of stuff that he put on hold personally to better the situation of his children.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things that I've taken away from that. That when it comes down to family, it's just like, yo, nothing else really matters. Nothing else. Like, it's either them or death. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like nothing comes between that but God. You know what I'm saying? And God don't come between family because he put it together. So, you know what I'm saying? What I took from that was my dad, he made sure he always provided. He made sure that he kept us, looking a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Making sure we were always satisfied, making sure we were always comfortable. A lot of people may say, well, that's your job as a parent, but it's a lot of parents out here that don't do that. It's a lot of parents that don't make sure that their kids are comfortable or even just have a regular conversation. Like my father used to just, and I never understood it back in the day. And I just be like, okay, why are you asking me all these questions? But he used to ask me different questions like, yo, how are you feeling? Like, what do you like? What are your feelings now? You're a teenager now. Like, are you okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff, now that I'm older, I was able to go back and remember and take from that. And now I have conversations with my daughter. How are you feeling? How are you? You're going into your teenage years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to have a teenager. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I was on FaceTime with my daughter today, and I'm like, hey, how are you? What's going on with you? How are you feeling? Like, you know what I mean? Do you like cheerleading? Like, is this what you want to do? Or is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the conversations that my dad had with me. You know what I mean? To, to make sure I was good. And we were talking about the male sanity, but we have to make sure that the kid's sanity is good too. Because it's a lot of stuff that children hold in that they don't express. And as a parent, you have to be tapped in to know your child enough to say, nah, something's wrong with you. I know when something's wrong with you. You can't hide that from me.
Yeah.
That's what I picked up from my dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad was very, very, very attentive. OD, like to the point where it got on my nerves sometimes. But now that I'm older, I can appreciate that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, it's kind of uh, somewhat different. Whereas my dad, for as far as I can remember, my dad was always a preacher. So he was always in church. And my dad worked every single day. I never seen my dad without a job. He was always at work. And if he wasn't at work, he was at church.
Right.
So that had kind of an adverse effect on me, if that makes sense. Because with him being in church all the time, it had us in church all the time, which means we weren't doing anything else besides going to school and going to church. And we went to Washington Temple. Y'all know it,
Yeah,
but
of course I
Yep.
know
we were,
Washington right there on Bedford Avenue. Come
That's
on here, dog.
listen,
Come
we
on
lived
here, dog.
directly,
if you're a
we
Brooklyn,
lived
you watch the
directly across the street, bro. We were in church every time the doors were open, bro. We didn't do anything else. Nothing else. We weren't doing no after school programs and none of that. Like I would come straight from when I went to Prospect Heights. So when I would get out of school, I would walk from school to the church and I would be in there practicing with the deacon. It's a deacon that cleaned the church every day. And he would let me in the church. I would get on the drums and just play until I knew it was time to come home. And then go home, maybe eat, turn right back around, come back to church. So that's all we did. And my father,
Wow.
I never seen my father cry but one time in my life, and that was when his sister died. And I heard that he cried when his mom died, but his mom lived in Key West, Florida. So him and my mom went to the funeral, and we stayed home in Brooklyn. So I didn't see him cry that time. So I've only seen my dad cry one time. My dad was the toughest guy I've ever seen in my life. My dad was always there. Even when him and my mom weren't together, I still saw my dad every day. So one thing when it was time for me to get married, I said to myself that I would do better than my dad, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't want to be in church all the time. I didn't want to have my children in church and my family in church every single day.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do what my father did because that's all I saw him do was go to work and go to church. I didn't see my dad have a lot of fun, or what I felt would be fun for him to do. Like just going out with my mom and them having a good time. I can't say that I've ever known my dad to go to the movies except when I was little. Come to realize that was for his time and it wasn't for mine.
Right.
If y'all follow me, like
Yeah. Sure.
I couldn't just do two things
Yeah.
and that's it. Like I still had to make sure that I was paying attention to my wife.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That
And
makes sense,
when
bro.
those times, yeah, when those times when I wasn't doing that, I felt like I was falling into being my dad. I'm going to work and I'm going to church. I'm playing at church, and that was enough. I had gotten to that point that going to work and going to church was enough because I'm still bringing money home. And I'm still out and about making sure that I'm bringing money home.
Yeah.
That don't. It's a different time we live in,
Yep.
and I'm still learning. Like I'm still or unlearning
Right.
from being trying to be the strongest person in the house or the macho man, and you got to do things this way, you got to do things that way, and that don't always translate into I guess this era or this time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Everything that
So
in the decades before us, our predecessors, it definitely doesn't fit now. Like,
yeah,
it,
they're trying to be tough with everything.
Do y'all because Depin, when you said about being in church all the time, that was us. Like that was me.
it's a
That was me
trigger.
too.
Yeah.
Like I was in church, and if I wasn't in church, I was on the road on the weekend. Literally, literally,
Hmm.
because my dad was working, and my dad's schedule was so crazy. He drove MTA bus. He drove the bus. So if I wasn't in church, I was on the road with my mother, traveling with the choir on the weekends. So, do y'all think, and it's a good thing that we was in church like the way we were, but do y'all think we had too much church and not enough family time?
Yeah, I
I'm gonna be
definitely
honest.
do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, and I'm gonna say why from my perspective. You
Okay.
churched out, right? You PK'd out, right? And then on top of that, our foundation, we all went to the same private institution. So
Yep.
although we all had a very good foundation that I would definitely do all over again in a heartbeat, our parents' generation, I'm not going to say directly our parents' generation definitely churched us out because they were churched out. I'm not sure about the Williams family, but I know my family is like hand me down PK, you know, and my grandfather had them in church like 4 and 5 days out of the week. And you can't just turn that off, especially like in the 50s and 60s. You don't turn that off. That comes home with you. You passed it at the church, but you still holiness is right at the house. And when you grow up in that,
That's right.
raise your kids in that, it's like we were talking on the Halloween episode. There's no Halloween. There's no ghosts and goblins, right? There's no movies, and
Oh no
there's
no
a
no.
whole long list of protocol that you have to follow, especially if your girl
Yep.
like that. You can't wear red nail polish. You can't wear nothing above the knee.
No
Wear
lipstick.
no crazy, no
Oh no
lipstick.
lipstick. You had to
Can't
wear long
wear
jean
crazy
skirts on
shoes, no
Friday night.
crazy
Yes
pattern.
sir.
Right.
Have to have on a slip protocol to follow that they inherited and then they projected that on us. So I definitely feel like we had an unhealthy balance because I do believe
Totally agree.
obviously
Unhealthy balance. That's
the
good,
way that we
Kia. I
do
like
church,
that.
yeah, the way we do church now, we still saved, we still love Jesus, but there's a balance to our generation. We like to go to the movies, we like to shop, we like to travel, we like to have experiences. I know experiences and making memories is a big, huge thing for me. You couldn't do that necessarily if you were raised 60s, 70s, and 80s. They weren't about that because it's either you live for God and you demonstrate that by how much you go to church and how well you can sing on the choir, how well you can play in the musician's pit and go travel with this person and go support this person, or you just not about it. You're not die hard for Jesus. And I think that
That's
was
so true.
so
That's so
imbalanced.
true.
And that's another form of toxicity, if you ask me. I'm just being honest.
Let,
They say to be
let
honest.
me add something.
That's a toxic nature. I was in my 20s, I remember, and I was living on my own. At the time, I worked in customer service. The role that I had, my schedule would change every 2 months. I had a different schedule. One time, I had a
Mm-hmm.
schedule that was like 10 hours every 4 days. So come Sunday, some days, honestly, I wanted to watch church on my own as opposed to getting up at whatever time and driving, and I just didn't feel like it. I felt like I got judged because I didn't want to go to church some Sundays. I'm like, it's really okay, but don't discount me or discredit me just because I'm not physically in the building every single Sunday. I think that their generation definitely was taught to be totally churched out, and they churched us out. And I think it was definitely a healthy imbalance.
Let me say something about being churched out. When I was about to get married, me and my wife at the time, we went to my parents' house to talk about the program, how it was going to go, because we weren't having it in church because we just didn't want to do that. So that was the first thing. Second thing, my dad was going to officiate it because he's a preacher, of course. That was the easiest choice or whatever. So we went to talk about the program, and my dad, being in preacher mode 24/7, looked at the program that we had, and he looked at the menu and all these things. So he saw that there would be like an open bar at the wedding. He tried to do away with, if people gonna be drinking, I don't need to be there. That was my first time ever having to step up to my dad or to address some things that I didn't agree with.
Right.
Because I've never raised up to my dad for nothing. When we left the house, my fiance at the time, she cried all the way home because of how my dad had, she cried all the way home, and she was second guessing if we should get married because she was like, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to start our family. We're trying to start a life together. It had me sitting there like, I have to say something.
Yeah.
Like, my dad is my dad. He's my dad. I love him with my life. I love him and anybody that I'm related to in my life. But this is not his life. This is the life I have to live. So I got on the phone with him the next day, and like I had it out with him, and he tried to speak and I wouldn't even let him speak. Like, I was like, nah, Dad, you got to listen to me. You have to listen to me. I listen to you. I don't disrespect you or nothing. And I told him, I was like, I have to live with this woman. This is the woman I chose to live with for the rest of my life, not yours. You don't have to live with her. This is not your wedding. This is my wedding. I asked you to officiate it because you're a preacher and you're my dad. And then I ended up telling him, I was like, I don't want Pastor Williams at my wedding. I want my dad there.
Yeah.
I had to tell him that because it pained me that she cried herself to sleep. And it had my heart aching because I'm like, I can't start a new life like this. He was just stuck in preacher mode.
That's
stuck
crazy.
in preacher mode. And I swear to you, bro, he's just like, no, I'm not going to show up. I'm like, how you going to tell your son that you're not going to show up to his wedding because of an open bar? You don't have to drink anything. You stay true to yourself. We didn't put the open bar in there for you. That's for the people that party that way. We want all partiers, not just the church partiers, because if it was just the church party is going to be a church party. It's going to be a bunch of church songs, a bunch of that stuff, and no dancing, all of that. It's just like devotional service at a wedding. I wasn't doing that.
Right.
That's not what I was doing. I know we have other people in the family that do other things, that live other lives. They don't go to church. Some of the people that were at the wedding, they don't go to church. That's just not what they do. Everybody wasn't raised the same way. Everybody didn't come from that background. Not to say that it's bad that they didn't, because they're living their lives.
Right.
They took the choice of how they want to live their life, and that's how they live in their lives. So who are we to discriminate who's coming to celebrate and support us?
Exactly. It's totally.
That was one of my awakening moments. After we got off the phone, that same day, he called me later on. I think it was when he realized that I was right. He called me back. He was like, he was telling me sorry. He didn't realize that he was just locked in that mode. When Olive Garden was popping, he took us to the Olive Garden that night, and he apologized and all that. He showed up to the wedding and officiated the wedding. And I mean, we went from there. And that the day after we got back down here, he called me up and he told me he loved me. And my dad didn't tell me that a lot. That's just me being transparent, honest, and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. My dad didn't tell me
Mm-hmm.
that he loved me a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
that was another thing that I took from that unlearned behavior, that not telling. I swore that I would tell my kids every day that I love them. They were gonna know. They're gonna know that as much as I can possibly say it to them. I love you.
Yeah.
I love you every single day of your life. Because that when I saw my kids born, like watching their mom having them, she's sacrificing her life to give me these kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how could I not tell them that I love them every single day?
That's
Just
true. What you say was 200%
Yeah.
correct, bro. It's like
Yeah.
now it has changed because of us and the generation that's in now, because it's so totally different now. They have to approach it now with a different angle. We are the last of the Mohicans for everything.
Facts.
Literally.
Facts. I'm
Like
glad you said
we're
that
the
out.
last to see all the things that our parents grew up seeing.
Yeah.
It started to die out
Yeah.
in our elementary school years, going
yep,
into our teenage years and stuff. That stuff
yep.
started dying out, but it was there, but it started dying out. So we were able to experience that. So that's why I say, were we church too much and less family? I know I was. Like I told you, if I wasn't on it,
I definitely was.
was
You see exactly what happened to some of us that were in that same, group. They wild out as soon as they got
some
a taste of the world. It's like,
some of them
woo!
didn't survive.
Yeah, something got tapped into, and it was like, church. Who
Yeah,
church? Church what?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
And I
The
think
thing about us, we could have.
Gary say that we could have did that too, but we realized that it needs to be some type of balance, somewhere.
we all can agree on that we want to teach our children, not just through our actions, but let them know it's okay to have balance. Love God, live for Him, but also live your life. Find some joy and have some freedom to experience some things and express yourself and the things that make you happy, and see other
And
parts
he gave us the freedom to do that.
and language,
Yeah, that's a fact.
a different culture. Always
And
love them, but yeah,
what's so crazy? The ones that have balance now, this pandemic didn't bother them. Not about not going to church.
right,
The
right,
ones that have
right,
balance.
exactly.
During this time, we are all able to reflect and understand family value and understand the dynamics of family
Yes.
and understand everything that comes along with family. You know what I'm saying? Like during this
Hmm.
time, we're able to do that. And we were only able to do that because the world shut down. And I feel like God shut the world down like this is because he wanted us to get back to our
Say it.
bases,
Say it. Yes.
the
You
basis
wanted
of
America to get back.
America, period. You know what I'm saying? To the
Yeah.
basis of everything. Family, taking the time out, really just sitting down, thinking, planning. Think about it before even coronavirus, y'all. Let's just think 2019, period. We was all moving at a fast pace. Think about it.
We're
Still
moving
not going
quickly,
nowhere.
still not really making any momentum. You're right.
But we were moving so fast, yo.
You're
We were
so
moving
distracted.
so fast. We were all over the place, and
We had
it's like
1,500
one of those.
distractions.
Yes, and mad distractions, and that's another thing. That's another thing. There's no distractions in a pandemic because you can't go nowhere.
Having some
Okay.
discipline and having some routine for sure. If it did not, you totally missed the entire point of being home this entire time. I totally agree.
Exactly.
I totally agree with you.
That family time in this pandemic means a lot.
So
Just
much.
And it
having fun with family.
So
Just
much.
having fun with family. Is
it brought think about it, bro. You brought back all the games that you remember doing, everything that you was taught younger that you played in the crib. You now introduce it into your kids. The only person I was able to be around was my youngest son, but just being around him, having that moment with a toddler, again, because my other two are 12 and 11, so it's just like they're older, but having that moment with a toddler again, showing him little basic things that I used to do when I was his age, and you know what I'm saying, playing little games and stuff with him, like that time was fun. That time was fun.
Especially
And actually,
the age he is, this is time you would never have gotten back had you been busy in the world and it was open.
yes,
All
going for
happened so quickly at that age. That's
yes,
you would have never gotten back.
yes, yeah, I definitely get it. I definitely do.
Now, I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to pose a different question to the both of you. Now
Okay.
that you are, I guess, woke to what you've been given from your male predecessors, what kind of influence you've grown under as a child and teen all the way up until adulthood. Now that you're able to compartmentalize everything that you're unlearning and you have a sure foot in who exactly you want to be. And I know for all three of us, we could definitely agree, even though I'm the only female online right now, we all have a clear focus and we have clear intention on what exactly it is we want in our life or for our lives, for our children. We're all about legacy building. We're all about the bigger picture, and we're all about keeping that unshakable focus. With that being said, do you know what it is that you need from your peers in your personal circle to thrive in 2020 and beyond? That that also coincides with you being able to be a whole male, meaning whatever satisfies your mental, your emotional, your physical. Do you know clearly what it is you need to be able to thrive and have that sense of wholeness?
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I definitely do. Now I definitely do. If you ain't been rocking with me for a long time, like I really don't have no new friends. Like it's really
Yeah,
no new friends.
yeah,
And everybody in my circle is not even friends. They're like they're family at
yeah,
this point. Everybody in my circle right now, you know that I'm running with, we're all in business together.
yeah,
So it's just like iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? Like we all on the same page when it come down to, you know, inspiring or encouraging, and you know, and getting all of us to our ending goal. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Devin?
I totally agree with what Desmond said. Not really no new friends around
Yeah,
because that's learning people all over again, and
yeah,
yeah, it's just not time for that. I'm too old for that. Like
Facts.
trying to learn people and chase people around and
mm,
figure out where they're at and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much if like he said, if you ain't been rocking, you can't rock now.
mm-hmm,
Like you definitely got to know. Oh, we definitely got to be on the same page.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's fair.
yeah,
Don't apologize for it either. That's more than fair.
Nah, it's the truth. It's like, and I feel like where I'm going, like I can't. Everybody gonna want to be my friend after I get to my ending goal. I can't. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I got to have. I got to have you on my corner now, and I don't want you to get in it when when I get there, because
When
I
I
don't
tell
even know if you're
you,
genuine right now.
right, now
right.
2020 was definitely sifting season. Tell
Yes.
you during this time, if you have not been around or you have not been true, and I've accepted it, and I am okay. Now, baby, I know. I
I get
honor the
it.
fact that everybody can go with me. I am
Yo,
so okay. I'm glad everybody can go with me.
it's certain people that I thought that would be, and I used to hear my uncle say it all the time. Oh, it's certain people that I thought to this day that would be with me. They told me, yo, I got your back. I'm with you. I'm riding with you, and they not with you no more. Like,
Yep.
and I experienced that. Like, it's
Yep.
like, I mean, people like, yo, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, yo, we gonna be big together. We gonna grow.
Yeah, don't
Nah,
even talk
nigga.
to him no more.
Right?
Not
Don't
a word
even talk.
speak.
Not a word.
Right. If you're not riding along with me, you handed me the scissors to cut you down. And it's okay.
Sometimes people, you just stop talking to them,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
not nothing. There's no beef. It's just like
Yeah.
we don't talk no more. It's just like, yo, whatever happened to such and such. I don't know. I just stopped talking to them. Like
Yeah.
sometimes that be God, yo. Like just people just go their separate ways, and I'm doing me over here, and you doing you over there.
It's an unspoken understanding.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm like, I'm gonna leave it right there. With that said, I stumbled across something and I wanted to share it with you guys. It made a couple things make sense. Not that I was completely oblivious to it before, but y'all already go through so much. And we can go for hours talking about our history here on this land. Um, that's a whole episode in itself, but y'all deal with so much. And I found something interesting and it went into the things that you basically have to constantly worry about. 5 stresses for the Black man. Number 1 was money and finances. Number 2 was race and racism. Number 3,
Yes.
jobs and career. Number
Right.
4, relationships and family. And 5 was health and illness. Wow, I'm actually shocked that health and illness is at the bottom, which comes full circle with this whole conversation for the evening. I think that is so sad because your health should definitely come before race and racism, jobs and career too.
Right. But I kind of see why it's the last thing because, and not to say this is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good thing. But men, especially in the Black community,
Mm-hmm.
we don't. If we're not dying, if a man's not dying, he's not going to the hospital. He's not going to the doctor. But I mean, not to say that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Men are more worried about making money for their family than, and I know it's backwards. Like, oh well, how you gonna make money if you don't know what's going on with you and your body? You know what I'm saying?
Right. If you can't even
But
walk around.
if you can't even walk around, like how you gonna know? But men are really more concerned with providing for their children and their wives and their fiance and their kids, whoever it is that they got looking at them and holding it down to where like they put themselves on a back burner.
Yeah.
And it's just the truth. You should go to the doctor. You should get checkups, and you should know what the hell's going on with you and your body. But yeah, that's I can see why that's the last on the list when it should be first. Actually,
I want us to change the
actually,
rationale.
the first one should be on
Money.
the bottom of the list, and the last one should be at the top.
It should be the least of you guys' worries. It absolutely should. I agree. If you don't have the health and wellness, you don't have the life or the livelihood to spend the money to enjoy whatever the other stuff that comes along with it.
Right.
But I would love for our generation to change that narrative and to change that rationale, because just because that has always been the case doesn't mean it has to continue to be that way.
Yes,
but I
that's
definitely
true.
am appreciative of the both of you, at least being 2 of however many, to be able to be the ones to change that narrative with the way you're raising your own children. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they appreciate it now and they'll definitely appreciate it in the long run. But it's
Right.
something I thought about and I just wanted to share with it because it's not okay. For anyone watching that needed to hear this episode, I hope that you gained some introspect from Desmond and Depton. And if you're looking for any resources, we'll definitely share these on the Chip Chat and Chill Instagram and Facebook pages. But you can also go to therapyforblackmen.org. They have an abundance of resources available for you. There's
Hey
also
man, there's
Black.
nothing wrong with getting some therapy, dude.
It really isn't. It's the new thing. And we're going to change that narrative as well. We don't talk to nobody. What goes on in this house stays in this house.
But you know
No.
what? Honestly, that
No.
narrative is really starting to change because I'm finding out that more and more
I'm
Black
glad.
men are going to therapy.
I'm glad because y'all need to. Y'all got to stop. Yeah.
Go sit down on that couch, bruh.
Please talk to someone.
Fellas, if y'all watching out
You
here,
need
go
that
sit
couch.
down on that couch.
I know males in my family
Go.
have started to change that as well. They're going and they're having conversations because there's so much that you don't even know that's hurting you or what kind of gaping wounds you've been walking around with that have been hurting you and you've been bleeding on people and you have no idea why you're acting the way you have been acting or why this hurts or why things are so big of a trigger for you. Yeah, go heal, please. Yes,
Some of those things
absolutely.
are being suppressed though.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
Because some of us know the things that we've gone through and grew up in,
Yeah.
and we just try to hold it down and not address those things.
Try
And
to put a
that's a
band-aid
problem.
over it.
Try to, yeah, bro. What you said that? Yes, sir.
That adhesive
Can't
on
Yes,
put
sir.
that
for so long.
can't put that band-aid over that.
That adhesive don't
Some
apply to
stuff
everything.
some stuff got to be stitched together.
Yeah.
You can't put
Yeah,
a
bro.
band-aid over that.
You got
You got to expose
Hmm.
it, clean it, and sew it up.
yeah.
Like literally. A lot of people are walking around here with heavy secrets on them. It's a lot of stuff that a lot of men are going through, and you just got to let that out. I mean,
It'll
you got to
literally
let
eat
it out to the right
you.
ears, but you just got to let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have 3 resources and we'll share them on our sites. It's therapyforblackmen.org,
Which will be on the screen right here, guys.
blackmenheal.org, and the last one that I have to share is onipa.com, onipa.com. And we'll have those resources available on our site. So share them with the next person. Definitely share this episode with someone. Forward the YouTube link. Share it with as many people as you can. And you can play this back as many times as you need to. Save it in your favorites. Add it to a playlist, whatever you need to help you cope, heal, address something you've been afraid to address. It is okay. I want you guys to be okay. I'm glad that you guys were open enough to share that today. I'm pretty sure you're going to help thousands of people. Now that we had our conversation, it's time to lighten the mood up just a little bit. Y'all ready to play some games for happy hour?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
So the first game I have on the menu is Would You Rather?
Okay.
So the first one I have posed the question, would you rather live concert, a men's self-care day, a guy's road trip, or a sports game and wings?
Men's health care for the day. Self care for the day.
Yeah.
For me, I've done everything else. All those other things, that's regular stuff.
You can do that anytime.
Yeah, but see, you got me with the concert because I haven't been to a concert in about a year, some change now. So I'm kind of fiending for some loud music, some loud music, heavy bass, and a screaming crowd. I'm kind of itching for that.
I ain't
But
gonna that too.
I'm gonna go with the guy's road trip. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because women do it all the time, but us men, we barely get together like that and go away and just chill and just
I
whatever.
agree.
We go play pool, we go play ball. We may even link up. We all go to the movies, or we all go to something like light, like Dave and Buster's, and just chill, whatever. Or we all may even go out to eat. But a road trip where we
Yeah.
all just busting it up, having fun, a lot of guys don't get a chance to do that.
A Brody Rody.
Uh-huh.
Listen, let's keep it going. I'm with it. Would you rather test drive a sports car, upgrade your entertainment system, that's any electronic included, a Zoom game night, or a solo road trip, or a solo getaway?
Give me the solo getaway for
Mm.
10,000.
Yeah, yeah, bro. I take solo getaway, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, I just talked about that test driving a sports car or a
Oh, you
luxury
did?
car.
Really?
We just talked about that. I'm like, even if I had the money, like, we got the Porsche dealership out here.
I was just getting ready to say they do that. They offer that. And they have Groupons too.
To
It
test drive
makes
cars?
to me to
You can
test drive a
you
Porsche,
can do
bro.
a 3 or 5 lap run around the track.
Listen, it makes absolutely no sense to me.
Mm.
Why test drive on a racetrack? I'm not racing cars. That's not my thing. I got my own car. My car is pretty fast too, and I'm not trying to break no speed limits. So what's the sense?
We have one more game for the evening, and it is called new name. Who this? So, at the top of the show, my two co-hosts, Desmond and Declan, exchanged some information with me. And we're all going to get new names today for the remainder of the show. So, I'm going to read the name that Desmond gave you, Declan, based upon the information he gave me. And Desmond, I'm going to read the new name Declan gave you, based upon the information he gave me as well. The
Tricks
kicker,
and
are you ready?
schemes.
Drummers, give me a drum roll, please.
We both did it.
The same exact thing, bro.
This is how
man.
I'm reading it.
Oh,
Okay.
hell no.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
my
got the
God.
guess. Who's going first? You ready? Declan.
Mhm.
And the name is
Who, my name?
the name you gave Declan.
Okay.
This is the new name. Gray fried shrimp and fries.
Gray fried shrimp and fries. Okay.
What are you doing? He's supposed
Really? Like, what?
What? I don't. You know what? I lost.
to go
Definitely
back
won.
in the green room.
Put me backstage. Makeup.
You're horrible.
Your
Okay.
face. Oh, my God.
Okay. That's his new name.
Okay.
Spaghetti and garden salad.
What?
What? Say it again?
Spaghetti and garden salad.
What the la 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 ta la la la?
Sound like you probably
That's
Marshall
only.
Bill.
That's only.
She sound like
Okay,
she's
so-
speaking in tongues for the first time.
You don't know what to
Red spaghetti.
Yesterday.
No. Red spaghetti.
What?
Red.
What?
Red.
Lead?
Red.
Red?
Red?
Spaghetti
Spaghetti.
and garden salad.
And what?
Garden
Collard
salad.
greens? Garden salad?
Yes.
Red spaghetti and garden salad.
Yes. Okay, Desmond, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure? Okay. Royal root chicken.
See, no.
Yes. Royal root chicken.
Royal red chicken.
Royal.
Royal. Royal blue.
Root chicken.
Blue chicken.
Oh.
What?
Stew chicken.
Royal blue stew chicken?
Yes.
Oh, praise
Yeah.
the Lord. Royal blue stew chicken.
So stupid.
Curry taco.
Burgundy?
Curry
Burgundy
taco.
something taco.
Curry taco. Curry taco. Curry taco.
Burgundy
Curry taco.
something. Say the second one.
Turkey.
Turkey taco?
Yes. Yes.
Burgundy turkey taco?
Yeah,
Yes.
I would have been done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we done had our great conversation. I thank you guys.
Yes, it
And
was
play
good.
the
It
game.
was fun.
We got checks and we carrying out the doggy bag. So you want to share a takeaway you're taking with you, a carry out tip that you're taking away with you today?
Living and learning.
Yep.
That's all I got. Living and learning
Yeah.
and moving forward. Making the best of every day.
Yeah.
Facts. Same here.
Gotcha.
Word. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Same here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for your
you
time.
for
Thank you.
allowing us to be on your platform.
Right.
I'm glad you guys had your time. Kirby will be back soon. He misses you
Yes,
guys,
she is.
especially in lieu of fall season and all the holidays coming up. If
Cool.
anyone wants to catch up with any of the co-hosts today, you can always catch up with Desmond at Sir Chunks on all social media.
Or social follow me.
You can always catch up with Desmond at Dep on Drums. And you can always keep in touch with the show itself. We're Chip Chatter and Chill on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also catch up with me on my personal page or the business page, housing on Chip Chat and Chill, which is Zachía Media House. I thank everybody for their support. Thank you again for watching. Come back. And thank you again for the memories. Guys, you're the best. I had the best. Swear. Until we meet again, love yourself,
May
stay
his
safe,
peace
live in power, and bring some friends to Chip Chatter and Chill.
May his peace